All right, 11.4b. This is another extension of volume of a prism. So you're going to be using the same formula, but you can actually use a different formula if you want to be more specific. So the formula that I give you on the sheet, hopefully you're using that sheet as you do the homework. I posted it a couple places in Canvas. I would use it as you do the homework because you're going to be using it as you take the test. I will never make you tell me those formulas. So use it as you go. For a cylinder, it's the area of the base times the height. Well, your base is a circle, right? So we're finding the area of the circle times the height. So you could write this as pi r squared, because that's the area of a circle, times h. So if you prefer to think of it this way, that's fine. Just know that you will be given this one, okay? So we're going to do 3 problems and then we'll be done. All right, first one, find the volume of the cylinder in terms of pi. Sorry for my drawings not being quite perfect here. So the volume of this cylinder, we are going to do volume equals area of the base times the height. Remember, capital B is always area. Area of the base is pi r squared, because it's a circle, times h. So this is going to be pi times 6 squared times the height, which is 14. So when you plug this in, you get 36 times 14. Don't plug the pi in. We're going to leave it in terms of pi. So you're never going to plug the pi button in when they say leave it in terms of pi. Okay, what you're going to do is 6 squared times 14 is 504, and then hit your pi, and it's volume, so cubic meters. Okay, so that would be your exact answer in terms of pi. Example 2, same idea, but notice the difference on this one. This time they gave you a diameter. We need a radius. So what is your radius for this problem? If the diameter is 2, the radius is 1. So we're going to say the volume of the cylinder equals the area of the base times the height. Well, the area of the base is pi r squared. So pi times 1 squared. The height is 3. So you get 1 times 3, or just 3, and then attach your pi, and that's centimeters, and we are cubing them because it's volume. Okay. All right. Example 3, last one. This one's a fun one. You kind of got to think through what's going on here. Sorry, my picture is not beautiful, but hopefully you get the point. So it's kind of like a lunch pail looking thing. If you think about breaking this up, on bottom, what shape do you have? This whole bottom piece. That would be a rectangular prism. So to find the volume of the prism, remember volume for a prism is the area of the base times the height. So we need to think of, I'm just going to redraw this so it's just the prism right now. Sorry, I didn't draw it to scale, but you'll get the idea. So in our setup for the prism, this is 10, 6, and 6. Okay, so the area of the base, if we use the bottom as our base, that would be base times height, 10 times 6. Okay, the height of the prism is this distance between the two bases, which is another 6. So the volume of the prism is 10 times 6 times 6. 10 times 6 times 6 is 360 cubic inches. Okay, but then we also have a half cylinder. If you look here, okay, this figure, half of a cylinder, we also need to find. So the volume of half of a cylinder If you think about the formula for a cylinder, it's B times H, but we only want half of that, okay? Remember, B is going to be pi r squared times H times a half, okay? So my setup here is going to be 1/2 times pi. The radius, they show you here that this length is 3, or you can think of it this way. This would be the diameter, right? So diameter of 6, radius of 3, so pi times 3 squared. And then what's the height of the cylinder? If you look at the picture, it's going to be the distance between your two bases, and your bases are circles. So the distance between the circles would be 10, right? So that's your height. So you're going to say the volume of the half cylinder is 1/2 times 9 times 10, and that would be 45, and then multiply the pi, and we are talking inches, so cubic inches, okay? The question is, what's the volume of the composite space figure? What's the volume of the whole thing, okay? Composite space figure just means you're putting two things together. So the volume of this figure is going to be 360 plus 45 pi. Okay, now this would be the exact, you would say cubic inches, or if we wanted to round it, you would just plug that into your calculator. 360 plus 45 pi gives you about 501 cubic inches. Okay, so that is volume of a cylinder.